What's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy, Kevin Forte, and today we are taking a look at the Nashville Predators. There's some rumors out there about Filip Forsberg today. We are going to look at where he may end up. Does he stay in Nashville? Where does he go? What is he signed for? We're going to go over all that. So we have some latest news here on the Filip Forsberg front. It doesn't sound great for David Poile and the Predators. So this is from Jeff Merrick. Merrick thinks the Bruins and Canucks could be interested in Filip Forsberg this offseason. We've also heard from Elliot Friedman that Friedman wonders if the Los Angeles Kings will make a run at a guy like Filip Forsberg. I think that would have been a really good piece for the Kings, especially in their playoff series against the Oilers. They just got outgunned. You know, the Oilers can score more goals than the Kings could. And that was ultimately their downfall. You had a guy like Filip Forsberg. Oh man, you're going to really piss off the Preds fans. You get Victor Arvidsson and Filip Forsberg. That would be pretty interesting. But again, definitely not off the table. We've also heard from Jeff Merrick. He thinks the Bruins, Canucks, and Avalanche are potential suitors for Filip Forsberg. So another Forsberg in Colorado. I don't think they're going to have the cap space to make that happen. They would probably have to let go of Nazem Kadri and Darcy Kemper and pretty much everybody. They would have to move a lot of guys and really be okay with a lot of guys leaving in order to do that. But again, crazier things have happened, so I'm not ruling it out, but I don't see it as a necessarily likely thing that we'll see for the Predators forward. So out of those teams, which one do I like? Obviously, Colorado, he would have a lot of success there. That's to be expected. More likely, though, I do look at a team like Boston, surprisingly enough. And Boston's interesting because you've got Pasternak, you've got Marchand, but they don't have a center. That's my problem with this, is they are going to need a center, depending on what happens with Bergeron, of course, right? So that's something to consider. LA sounds good. LA does sound very good. And again, you look at a young team. They played really well against the Oilers. They kind of battled their way. Who expected them to make the playoffs this year, right? I think they did well. I think they could be a real interesting spot for Filip Forsberg. And Vancouver, I think the thing with Vancouver that bothers me is they are going to have, it depends. If they don't keep Besser, if they don't keep Miller, if they move on from a guy like Bo Horvat, now you're looking at it being more realistic, but are you going to be an attractive option to Forsberg if you're trading out Miller and Horvat and Besser? Probably not. And that's why I think LA, with where they're at, I think could be a good fit for Filip Forsberg. I think of those teams mentioned, he is probably the best fit. I don't see New Jersey getting him. I think they're going to explore more toward the Kevin Fiala thing. Or even keeping their pick with Slavkovsky. I think the Devils will not be there. But even Ottawa could be in the mix there. But I think right now, if I had to put a spot, it would be LA. To play alongside play alongside Victor Arvidsson, right? That would be a little bit strange, but that's how it works, right? In terms of money, I think you're looking at between $7 and $8 million. If you're really swinging, maybe $9 million for Filip Forsberg on a 7-year deal, $9 million per season, I think that is realistic for Victor Arvidsson. It is a lot. I didn't say it wasn't a lot, but I do see that as a real possibility. So 9 years, $9 million per season, 7 years to the Los Angeles Kings. Quote me in that, put me in the notebook for that, and we'll see what happens come free agency. I think at this point, he's waited long enough now where if he was going to resign in Nashville, listen guys, I'm an Islander fan. I can tell you with John Tavares' thing, chances are if he hasn't signed by the trade deadline, what makes you think he's going to sign before the draft or free agency? And I hate to say it, but that's kind of where the world is today. And I do think Filip Forsberg will be leaving Nashville. I know Predators fans don't want to hear that, but I do think as the days grow closer and closer and closer to free agency, it's hard to ignore the fact that he will probably be hitting the free agency market. Guys, let me know where you think Filip Forsberg will sign, for how much, how many years. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.